Team 11, Dollar Tree Food Review. Team 7-Eleven, Alternate Dimension. Billy, Oreo Cakesters, Time Isn't Even Real. Bring Him Back, God Strange White Substance.
So you share faces, you are not one and the same.
Time travel.
What's going on?
Billy
My
Black.
crazy.
If
If
time isn't real, then you're all
September 21st,
I
2014.
never snorted that crap.
That was the day that started it all.
Keeps running away.
Remember their faces. It will do you well in the future.
Squeeze on it.
Oh, we're gonna want some hot sauce. Wait.
BT, another one.
I think it caused a chemical
It was
reaction.
not me. It wasn't me.
We got Tabasco.
Wait. We have to have Tabasco. No. Tabasco.
Oh my.
It's pepper.
Oi! Who the hell's in my room? Don't try to hide, you goddamn copycat.
This is weirder than the grape. I can't believe it.
Face to face with a Dollar Tree copycat. You're the one who took Billy away from us!
Who's Billy?
Don't you play dumb with me, you smug little shit. I know you're the one who took Billy away from us. Ah! I'm sorry. It's just nothing makes sense anymore. Well, whoever he was, you must have been pretty close to him, huh? Billy, he was really my best friend. Our best friend. Well, sitting here and bickering isn't gonna do us any good. Just you might as well tell me about Billy. That way we can set things straight, right? No, don't do the flashback thing. Just explain it. Just stop. Explain it. Stop!
I don't remember much about the time before we met Billy. Whenever I try to think back, my mind draws a blank. It seems almost as if my life had simply popped into being once Billy came into it. I still remember the day we met. I was an elementary schooler at the time, waiting in the rain without an umbrella. My mom was out job hunting, so she was late that day. I was soaked and hopeless until a big black truck pulled up beside me. The passenger window rolled down to reveal a boy who looked about my age. Chubby little devil. After shoving an Oreo cakester into his mouth, he offered me a ride home. His mother expressed sympathy for me, although the boy didn't say much himself. He had the face of a fat little snob that only a mother could love, but there was a certain air about him that made me like the boy. Perhaps it was his jolly smile as he stared out at the pouring rain, or how he waved as I walked out of the truck. I didn't think much about this encounter, but once again, I saw the kid. Same red cheeks, same bright smile. It was during lunchtime. I was a shy one, so I sat alone at the end of a table in the very back where no one would notice me. No one except the chubby boy. An annoying, high-pitched voice called out to me. I jumped a little, realizing it was my savior from the day before. Behind him stood two other boys. One had glasses and dark curly hair, the other a short cut and a mole on his cheek. Initially I felt threatened by their approach, but I found the trio to be friendly. They had a chemistry about them that made me jealous. I wished I could have friends like that. The fat one, whose name was Billy, suddenly asked me why I wasn't eating. What an embarrassing topic. In a school where kids always had lunchboxes packed with the newest, coolest treats? How could I tell him my mom, my only caretaker, was dirt poor? But then, when I looked back up at the three, I realized they didn't seem to be the type to gossip. Not the type to make fun of me, the trustworthy type. And so, I told them everything. My face was never so hot with shame. I almost cried. They didn't say anything. Billy, keeping that stupid grin of his, reached down into his pocket. He placed in front of me a blue wrapper. It read, Oreo Cakesters. Billy urged me to try one. I had never had an Oreo Cakester, let alone its cookie counterpart. It was so sweet. My young senses weren't used to that kind of flavor. Chomping the soft cake to bits, I broke into tears. The other two laughed and teased, but in a friendly way. These three became my most precious companions. Whenever I was forced to save food at home, they each offered me portions, and of course, the occasional cakesters. My mum was so grateful for this when I told her, and insisted that I stick around the boys. I did just that. On the playground, Billy taught us the coolest games and all of their rules, although he was never good at racing. At lunch, they described to me in vivid detail the new video games they played because at home, we couldn't afford them. Imagine my excitement when Brandon, the boy with the glasses, invited us to his house. The idea of a video game was marveling enough to me, but multiple people being able to play it at the same time? The four of us had a blast. By the end of the day with my friends, my dismal home life and all of its problems seemed to vanish. I really looked up to them, Billy, Brandon, and Bernard, the three Bs. At one point, I even asked my mom if I could change my name to match theirs. By the time we left elementary, my mom had secured a job, and we weren't scraping by anymore. It was summertime, plenty of time for fun. Except, Billy started smiling less. His cheeks turned paler, and he stopped eating Oreo Cakesters. Whenever we brought this up, he didn't say anything. Why was he acting like this? Things were going so well for us. At one point, he stopped answering our calls, forcing us to go to his house. Billy's mom opened the door. She wasn't smiling, didn't look happy. When we asked her what was wrong with Billy, she gave us a concerned look and said, "Billy is gone." Gone. Gone where? But she didn't know. None of us did. None of us could have known. I remember how quickly everything seemed different once he was gone. Like a major piece of our lives was missing. Like a puzzle piece you can't find, no matter how many rugs you flip. The only thing Billy left behind was a can of meat called Luncheon Loaf. An odd parting gift, but we held on to it anyway. There was definitely a dent in our group without Billy. Now, without a leader, we felt betrayed, especially Bernard, who revealed he had been around Billy since preschool. It took a lot of time to get over it, but after a lot of overthinking, I eventually decided to just forget about it all, as if the chubby boy with the cakesters had never offered me a ride on that rainy day.
Well, it sounds to me like we have the same friends and even similar parts of our lives, but I don't know any Billy.
But that can't be right. You had to have taken him away from our dimension.
Actually, it's the opposite. I created Billy, and I created you.
Yo, this motherfucker swear he Jesus. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's true. I went back in time because I missed an important date for the YouTube channel, and now, as a result, I created you and your world. It's my fault you've suffered like this, and I think Billy was trying to tell me that. You see, if I'm thinking correctly, I talked to Billy.
You met him? Where is he?
I don't know, it's a long story. I did some great mix and he said I'd meet you one day.
Damn it! Why is it so complicated?
Yeah, I know, man. It's almost like we're making this stuff up as we go. But, yeah, I'm really sorry. It's my fault for tinkering with the timeline. And there's nothing we can do. So, I think it's time that you accept that our world is better than yours. And maybe you'd be better off if you just joined me. Come to our world. But how? We'll become one. Welp, that's over with. Happy anniversary.
The Team 11 boy has done it. He merged with his counterpart. How did he figure it out? Sheer luck. A coincidence. Billy did the same thing, did he not? And look how that's turned out. Hush, hush. Don't fear. I wager this one will keep his mouth shut. The others won't believe him. Yes. So let them keep pandering to that dollar store. It will end them before we even have to.